Thanks for joining us on the webinar today. Just going to give everyone a couple of seconds here to log on, join, and get set up before we dive into it. Hello, and welcome to our educational webinar on customizing and configuring the client portal. My name is Siobhan, and I'm a professional services specialist here at Excello. I was previously a client of Excello who went through implementation, and I've been right where you are attending these sessions. On this webinar, I'm joined by Pat, who is a product research analyst here at Excello. Prior to joining Excello in 2019, Pat worked at a digital agency who was using Excello to manage their client work. So between the two of us, we've got some great real-world experience to bring to the table. Before we dive into it, I want to let you know exactly what to expect in this session. This webinar is aimed at intermediate level users. So that's those of you who've been using Excello for 6 months or more. And you have access to the client portal settings in your deployment. In this session, we're focusing on configuring the client portal, which will include customizing the look of the client portal, inviting and impersonating your clients, setting up global, project, and company level permissions, and valuable use cases for the client portal. The client portal is a feature available for premium licenses only. If you have any questions along the way, please add them into the chat feature. Our support team will be online to respond during the scheduled sessions, or if you're watching this in your own time, they'll respond via email. Let's jump into it. Your client portal helps you deliver more responsive, more transparent, and quality service to your clients, all while saving you time. Spend less time chasing your clients and instead give them on-demand access to their quotes, projects, submitting work requests, tickets, retainers, and invoices. Offer them real-time updates on active work and allow portal users to view and pay invoices while still leaving yourself in full control. So think of the client portal as a members-only business site where your clients can log in to keep themselves and you up to date. Pat, let's take a quick peek at the client portal before diving into customization today. Would you take us through some of the cool things the client portal can handle?
Sure, thanks, Saborn. So here I am, already logged into the client portal. Just wanted to do a quick high-level overview before we get started today. Worth noting, by the way, this orange bar won't be there when your clients actually view the portal. It's just telling you that you are currently in impersonation mode. More on that in a bit. But starting here at the Home tab, this is sort of like an activity stream for your client, right? So you can definitely control what they see or do not see in the stream or disable this completely. The rest of the tabs here have to do with our Excello products or our objects, right? So your clients can see sign-offs that you may have sent them and approve them. They can view requests that they have created. They can definitely view their quotes that you may have sent them and accept or deny from the client portal here. Of course, you can view your projects, tickets, or retainers that you are working on with your clients. So as in they can view those things and definitely see different levels of detail that you decide to show them. They can view and comment on their invoices. And lastly here, if you do create a custom link, you can customize what they see there and where that link will take them.
Nice. So Pat, if you're a system admin of your team's Excello account, where would you go to customize the look and feel of the client portal?
Great question. So I'm going to jump into my other tab here. I'm currently at one of my client company pages in Excello, just as a starting place. But where I'm going to go to customize the look and feel is right down here in the bottom left. So selecting this settings menu opens up our admin menu. And I'm just going to find client portal. So sort of halfway down there in First things first, I'm going to select settings there. And this page will allow you to customize the look and the feel, right? So on this page, we can customize a welcome message that your clients will see when they first try to log in. Scrolling down a bit here, as you can see, you can put in your company's custom branding colors. So if you want to paste in a hex code or literally just click and pick a color there, you can do that. Scrolling a bit further down, you have the ability to upload your company's logo and a custom background image, right? So whatever logo you want there. So that's our company, Dunder Mifflin. A quick note about the background image there. Typically, when you upload an image, it will show just about the top third of that image. So you just want to make sure you're okay with what image you're uploading, the top third there. Also, just as a best practice, usually I'll upload something like a solid color, like I've done here with this image, or kind of like a strong pattern. So I just wanted to point that out. And then lastly, down below, you have that ability to create a custom link. So I gave it a title here. This is what we just saw, by the way, in the right. Visit the Dunder Mifflin website. So that's what I created there with my URL, right? So your clients can go ahead and click on that. It can, of course, link out to your own company website or any other online service that you want.
Thanks, Pat. I was wondering, how would you be able to see or edit what the client receives in the invitation email? Can you show us that next?
Yeah. So going back to where we were, next option down is the invitations area. So if I select this, to answer your question, this is basically where you can customize, that invite email that they're going to see, right? So you see here that I already put in my company logo. You can paste that in or do whatever you want in terms of putting a logo there, resize it. And then we just have our custom message. What's going on here is this is using merge fields. So it's saying, hi, recipient first name. So, hi, Jane. This is an invite to the client portal, et cetera, right? All very much customizable. They will get this login link here as well, right? So that'll take them to a login screen. But all of the merge fields that I'm using are here on the right. So you can see that there are a lot, and I can just simply paste them in to sort of fill in the blanks for the message that they're going to get. Just make sure also when you do any changes in here, just scroll down below and hit save.
Now that we're starting to customize the client portal, send out those invites to our clients, I would love to see the portal from a client's perspective to make sure I've got the right settings in place. How do I impersonate a client and view the portal?
Great question. So I'm going to go back to that company page that we started on. So my client, Acme Incorporated. If I expand companies, here we have our quick link, recently viewed, right there. From a company page, there is this portal dropdown. So selecting this, I'm going to select then view and invite contacts. When you first get to the screen, there's a number of tabs that you will see. So this first one here is just no access. There's invite sent, active, and all, right? So all will be all of your contacts at this company. The rest is, have you sent an invite to a contact? Have you sent an invite and have they logged in or not yet? So that's kind of the difference there. But the quickest and easiest way to impersonate a contact on the portal is when you're on the screen, go to the bottom right there next to a contact and select this three-dot icon. When I do, you will see this view portal as option. Real quick note about this. You'll want to make sure that a contact that you're selecting to impersonate does have an email address. It does require that. So you can always just, kind of put a placeholder email address for a contact if they don't have one yet, or just create your own, kind of dummy address there. But just wanted to point that out. All right, so I'm going to select this view portal as, and now we are seeing the client portal as that contact, Jane.
Now let's talk about some permissions. We've given our clients access to the portal, but how can we control what our clients see and don't see inside of the portal?
Good question. So let's go back to Excello, and I'm going to go into the client portal settings once again. So expand client portal. And you'll notice on the left here, the whole rest of this client portal menu is just object permissions, right? So we have companies, sales, projects, tickets, etc. And in each different section, so if I click into projects here, as you can see, you get a lot of different options in terms of what you want to show and hide, right? So for example, if I just do a quick side by side, currently right now we are showing projects to all clients that are invited to the client portal. So if we go back to the client portal, there it is. There's the projects tab. If I go back and I deselect this, I should be able to come back into the client portal, impersonating my contact, hit refresh, and there the projects tab has gone away completely, right? So as a best practice, this is how I would usually set up client portal permissions, is doing this sort of side-by-side thing. You can turn things on or off here, and then just go ahead and refresh client portal and see, the changes that are made. So just scrolling down the rest of this page, right, we have our different sections, lots of different levels of detail in terms of activities that you'll show, tasks pertaining to projects, allow the clients to upload attachments to projects, and all these different financial details, right? So different fields here. Do you want to show the rate, time log so far on the project, etc.? And then lastly, down below, we have these date fields as well as custom fields. So if you have already created custom fields in Excello, in this case against the project's profile, you can choose to show or hide them right from here.
That was really useful, Pat. Now, I work with a client who is very hands on. I want them to have access to information about their projects, but I don't want all of my clients to have access to this information about their projects in the client portal. Can we get even more granular with the client portal permissions? And if so, how would we manage this?
Yeah, definitely. So let's once again go back to our company page. I'll just go top level down, Acme Incorporated here. And I'm going to select under the work tab. I know that I have a few current projects that I'm working on with our clients here at this company. Let's say this new client services project, I want to show just that one on the client portal to this company. If I go to the projects page like I have, there is another portal dropdown, right? So this is where I can control specific permissions just for this project right here. So selecting that portal dropdown, you'll see that first option there, permissions for this project. When I get here, it's telling you currently access to the project module is being controlled by the global project permissions. So that's the section that we were in just a minute ago. You can definitely choose to override those permissions by selecting this right here, override default permissions with set. And then we are basically right now controlling permissions just for this one project, like I said. Just a note about that too, if I do decide to allow this project, it will override those global permissions that we set. All right, so once again, let's go back here and hit a refresh. Projects tab is back. And if I select that projects tab, now only the one project that I decided to show is showing in the client portal.
Expanding on that use case for working with clients that require more attention than others, or perhaps they're paying for that white glove service experience, is there a way to manage client portal permissions at the company level?
Yeah, of course. So going back into Excello, I'll use the breadcrumbs up at the top here to go back to our company page. So let's go back to Acme Incorporated once again. And just like we saw before, so how to impersonate a contact on the portal, we have this portal dropdown from the company page. Selecting this time I'm going to select company specific permissions, right? So we do have client portal permissions at the work object level, the company level, and then the entire global level that we saw, right? So selecting this company specific permissions, same kind of thing. You'll get the same view here, and then you can choose to override default global permissions, right? And then here we have more options in here.
All right. Now we've talked about permissions and we're getting into the good stuff. So let's take a deeper look into some of those really cool use cases that we highlighted at the start of this webinar. Eyes and ears open because I bet there'll be something here that you can take away and use to streamline your client work management processes today.
Yeah, so let's go back once again into the client portal itself, already impersonating our contact here. As mentioned earlier when we first started, this home screen really just acts as kind of a basic activity stream for your clients. Once again, via permissions, you can choose to completely disable this or disable some levels of detail in here if you want to. But in terms of functionality, there's some definitely cool things that you can do in here. So clients can view their sign-offs. So this is one that has been previously created in Excello. Maybe you sent them a sign-off for approval on some new out-of-scope change to a project, something like that. Of course, they can see what you sent them and they can approve or decline right here. There's also this make a comment option here, right? So if they comment, you will see that in Excello. Requests, right? So maybe this client previously created a request, which, by the way, you have a quick access shortcut at the top. So your client will have the shortcut right here, make a request. But if this is something that they're viewing that they already created, they can just come in here and see the details. When did they make that request? Maybe they want to add to the thread and continue that conversation, right? You can see these things in here. Quotes. You sent them a quote. You sent your client a quote, right? So we see one has been converted here and accepted, but there's another one that's currently open. Let's click on that as the client. They have the ability to download this quote. They see the actual PDF and the terms and conditions and all that good stuff right here, right? And they can also leave a comment right here if they need to. Okay. Projects. So same kind of thing. If I want to, as a client, click into a project and see a lot more details, I can do that. So here's the one project that we decided to show them. New client services project there. And as you can see, they can expand these milestones and different line items, see all of that, see what their current status is, budget, and due dates are. Again, you can show a lot more than that if you really wanted to, in terms of financials, schedule, things like that. And there's these other sub tabs in here. Maybe just this project has a few invoices that you would like to show them, right? So they can click into it from there. Or if they want to upload an attachment, they can do all that from here. Okay. Moving along the line, so tickets, same thing. Let's, click into a ticket as a client and just see a little bit more details about that. If there's any sign-offs attached to this ticket, any invoices, who is the, your internal user, employee, or contact involved with that. And then I would say retainers is a good use case too, right? So depending on how you have your retainers set up, what kind of budget you set up, is it prepaid or postpaid? Is it a value budget, a certain amount of hours per month, or a certain dollar value per month? They can see that, right? So it does depend on how you have it set up. We have this one monthly content retainer. At a glance, you can see, this month so far, they've used $300 worth of that budget. Let's click into this monthly service contract right here to see a little bit more detail about that, right? So they can see, your client can see what period is currently open, all past retainer periods there, how many hours were used per month, and for our current month, like we talked about before, so far, hour and a half used out of 10 hours budgeted, right? So once again, via permissions, lots of different levels of details and combinations of things that you can decide to show if you want to. We have second to last tab there, invoices. So pretty straightforward, right? If you have sent them invoices, they can see if they are paid or not right in here. Right? So clicking into an invoice will take you to that actual preview of the PDF, and they can even see if there's any activities against the invoice, meaning any communication messages, things like that. And the very last tab that I added previously before our webinar today is a custom link. So I mentioned that before. Wherever you want to take the client to, whatever link you put in there, You can, but here we are is our company, our custom link that I decided to take us to. Right?
Thanks so much, Pat. We covered a lot of useful stuff today. As you apply the tools, tips, and tactics from this webinar, if you have any questions, then head to community.excello.com. Here you can post your questions and connect with fellow clients, as well as link up with our friendly, knowledgeable support team. Community support is great for quick and free help and is your best resource for Q&A. Here, you can also find help guides and how-to videos to continue expanding your knowledge of Excello. You can access the community from the link I mentioned, community.excello.com, and you can also access it from your deployment in the bottom left corner under the feedback lightbulb icon. If you're looking for live help, more one-on-one professional support, then you should consider investing in an accelerated support plan. This is a really awesome resource for teams that prefer conversational interactions with our support team. And then the last resource here is expert services, and these are designed to help improve the way you work in Excello. So these are consultative, customized sessions to help you solve complex business problems or optimize processes in your business. So if you're interested in finding out more about expert services, email success@excello.com and an account manager will arrange a 30-minute no obligation scoping call. This brings us to the end of our educational webinar on the client portal. If you submitted questions in the Q&A, then we're going to be getting answers back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and being part of our Excello community. Take it easy, everyone. Bye for now.